My name is Pat Zerba, and I'm an instructor at the School for New Learning here at DePaul University. I am most pleased to welcome you to the second annual Chicago Conference on Human Rights. Our first Chicago Conference on Human Rights was held last October 4, right here in this very room. In October, our conference focused on the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the role Chicago is playing in the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. This first conference focused on providing information about human rights and a general overview of human rights. Many people were very excited about this conference and the issues they discussed, and they were motivated to want to do something. They wanted to take some action. But most people did not know what to do or how to actually implement some of the ideas that they had. So today, in our conference sessions throughout the afternoon, we're going to present tools to bring global advocacy home. Our workshops today will give you tools for action. We're going to be offering you a lot of ideas, concrete plans that you can actually implement in your advocacy for human rights. Our workshops are going to be covering many different advocacy issues, including conducting research. We have to know the facts. We need a lot more statistics, a lot more data, a lot more information about all types of human rights issues. Some of our workshops are also going to be covering actions we can take in terms of the media. We need more media messages. We need more creativity in our videos. We need more music. We need more websites. We need more posters. All types of media to convey our messages of human rights. We can also join with others who are already working on human rights. This afternoon, you'll have the opportunities to speak with leaders from nonprofit organizations who are already active in many areas of human rights. They can always use more helping hands. There are so many issues to human rights, including housing, education, poverty reduction, immigration, to name just a few. There are many more. There are also professional careers in human rights. You do not have to go to law school. You do not have to be a lawyer to work on human rights areas. Many universities have fabulous programs that provide academic training in particular areas of human rights. There's so many more tools to talk about, and I do not have time to go into all of them, but I invite you to look through your program. We are having 5 concurrent workshops in Part A and also 5 more workshops in Part B. A very current issue today for us here in Chicago are the Olympic Games. I'm sure we're all aware that the Olympic Committee was just visiting us here in Chicago a few days ago. As the city of Chicago establishes itself as a world-class city vying for the 2016 Olympic Games, it's critical to guarantee that international human rights standards are respected here at home. And speaking of home, we're going to begin this morning's discussion with a very important topic: human rights in our community. I have the great pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker, and I am especially pleased to introduce Representative Jan Schakowsky because she is my representative. I live in her district. You have a longer biography in the program that you have, and I think everybody had a chance to pick out the flyer. Now, I'm going to mention just a few points. Jan Schakowsky was program director of the Illinois Public Action, where she fought for energy reform, healthcare issues, and many other related issues. She was elected to the Illinois General Assembly for 8 years, and in 1998, she was first elected to the House of Representatives from the Illinois 9th Congressional District. She will speak with us this morning, and then after her remarks, we'll have about 15 minutes for questions. We have a microphone here between the aisles there. And if you have questions, you can step up to the microphone. And this is a good opportunity for us to engage in respectful dialogue around these very, very important issues in our own communities. Our topic this morning is advancing and protecting human rights in our communities. I am really, really pleased to introduce Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky.
Thank you, Pat. As I walked in today and saw the statue of my dear departed friend, Monsignor Jackie, and I can't think of anything more inspiring than seeing his image, although I don't think it looks a lot like him, but that's beside the point. A real champion and warrior for justice to inspire us all. I just came back from Haiti, which is a place that I have visited a few times now, and my first visit in 2002, it just grabbed my heart and would not let go. And traveled a bit with my good friend, Dr. Paul Farmer, that some of you may have heard of, an incredible, remember the name, he'll win a Nobel Prize one of these days for the work that he does in poor countries to deliver great healthcare. And in one of the clinics that he just built, and a number of people that are from the Chicago area helped build, there was a children's ward and many sick children, but mostly they were sick from poverty and diseases of poverty. And one baby was there with the classic effects of malnutrition, an infant, the red hair and the swollen belly and the stick-like limbs. Dr. David Walton, who actually comes from Skokie, from my district, who now lives and works in Haiti, said that child is going to be fine. And when she does go home in a few weeks, we'll make sure that we have a community health worker who makes sure she has nutrition, and she's going to be fine. In fact, most of the people in this, most of the children here, all of them are going to be just fine. And we're going to see that there's follow-up so that they stay fine. So what could be a more important human right than the right to nutrition, to health care, to the right to live, which of course is the principle behind the Convention on the Rights of the Child. And of course here in the United States, in our own communities, although I want to just say that I think that as privileged people, and I say that in the sense that when we fight for human rights, we advocate, we don't risk our lives to do that. Unless we go to some places around the world where it's very dangerous. In general, we can be as strident and as active and as aggressive as we want to be and should be without the fear of losing our lives, of being incarcerated, and that is a privilege as far as the United States has to go, and I think we do, in assuring human rights of all sorts. That is a tremendous, tremendous difference that we have, and it's a privilege that we have. And I think it's also an obligation that we have as human rights defenders to see ourselves as part of an international brotherhood and sisterhood, and feel that we need to consider community in the broadest of senses. Particularly, for example, in places like Haiti, where some of the consequences of the actions of the United States have resulted in the kind of poverty that we see there. And that's not untrue in many places, but Haiti, being so close to us in our own hemisphere and the poorest nation in our hemisphere, you know, you get on the plane in Miami and before you're done reading the paper, there you are in this poor nation. This isn't a speech about Haiti, it's about our broad sense of human rights, because 1 out of 5 children in the United States lives in poverty. And I've met with the Greater Chicago Food Depository and heard about the lines of people who are more often saying, I never thought I'd be in this line to get food. The number of children who we define it as food insecurity, and families who are worried about where their next meal will come from, or live in what we call now a food desert.